Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your weekly Bitcoin update for the week of Monday, February 9th, 2026. I could backtrack, and I suppose I will, but I'm going to do it in kind of a fast forward basis, and that is to say that we had a buy signal a year ago last November above this 87,200 channel top. It did hold a bit to the downside on the Trump tariff talks, early Trump administration, about a year and a half ago, less than that actually. And then from this channel top, we rallied to 122,433, which is a full wave count. So you've got long-term resistance still well above the market at 122,433. And just about 3 weeks ago, a little less than that, we entered a significant sell signal by not only closing clearly below this 87,200, but of much greater significance actually is a rising 3-year channel bottom that is in the same vicinity at 87,000 even. So this area, having settled below it, if you recall, several weeks ago, did set up the upper 50s as an objective. The upper 50s being this 58,192, a very long-term channel top, goes back to December of 17. And so this is like an 8-9 year channel bottom. Did I say channel top? I meant channel bottom. 58,192 this week. Last week's low was 60,190. And so this is what I would describe as our, with present volatility, it could be a 3 to 5 week dynamic, but I'm just going to say a 2 to 3 month dynamic. 58,192 actually is a formation that may well contain annual selling pressures. But when I'm talking 2 to 3 months out, you're buying the upper 50,000 area and you're selling the upper 80,000 area. And we could continue to play out through this widening wedge all the way into possibly through the second quarter. And that is the big picture dynamic. Now, if we were to close back above 87,000 handle resistance, we would have a significant buy signal into later year. I would anticipate once again that kind of 122 area that I showed a moment ago as a possible 2 to 3 month target. Were we to close back above the upper 80,000 area, I'm not even going to go into that in this video because it is so not likely to happen at least this week. So this is the two-sided framework. If you have no position in Bitcoin, you're buying the upper 50,000 area or selling the 87,000 area. If you're already long, you're taking some profits. This is what I would call the near to midterm framework. Working also to the downside is 56,930. That is a rising 2/3 speed line projected off that 22 significant low. And so it is a range, 56,930 up to 58,192, that can contain selling not only for the month of February, but through all of 26 and even into later decade. As I've been saying, this is an area we may actually bottom out through the rest of the 2020s. Onward and upward as we continue over time. I don't have a target mapped out. I'll go out on a limb right now, just looking at this chart, that if we were to, for instance, close below 56,930 this week, which I think is highly unlikely, I do think, now we didn't test support last week, but we came off of it nicely. We're already up a little bit in Sunday trade. This is bottom picking territory through the rest of the year. And yet, if we do close below 56,930, a long shot this week, a long shot really through the rest of the year. But if so, that would signal, I think, continued declines into this kind of red area between 15,795 and 19,285. It would be the mid to upper 10,000 region that I would expect. With present volatility, this could be within a couple of months, but it would likely take much longer than that as we continue moving south through time. Your average daily trade, your average daily range would continue to narrow. And so that could take much longer than 2 or 3 months. It could take the better part of a year. Bottom line, closing below 56,930, I think that Bitcoin has lost its luster as a speculative instrument and will fade into the background for an extended period of time, if not forever. So let's take a look at the upside. We do have just very simple, this high back in March of 24, 73,791, and this pullback low, April of last year of 74,412. This is your roughly, 600-700 point range of resistance. for the week ahead can contain buying on a weekly basis, possibly into March activity. From here, we can fall back into the upper 58,000 region. So if you're looking for a 3 to 5 week dynamic, a two-sided framework, it's buying the upper 50,000s, selling the lower 70,000s. And if we do close this week, Friday, above 74,412, I think with that kind of volatility within 2 or 3 weeks, we can find ourselves back in that 87,000 handle resistance, long-term resistance, able to contain buying. If we rally up to this area through March into April, and from here we can fall back again into that upper 58,000 area or that upper 50,000 area within a matter of a month or two. As I say, this is our 2 to 3 week framework. Certainly, though, if we were over the coming weeks to close above 87,000, once again, I would anticipate that 122 area that I map out right here on this chart. If we close above 87,200 this week, not going to happen. But if we did, that 120,000 area likely within a matter of 3 to 5 months or sooner. I am going to leave it at that for this week's Bitcoin Index video analysis. You have a great week.